Hey guys, this is May, and in this short video, let's talk for a minute about the holiday. The most obvious, and you probably thought of this before, maybe you haven't, but I certainly didn't think of this concept as a child, as none of us did, as we were all being brainwashed. But what about Santa Claus is really a name for the Satan's contract. Satan in the sense that it's an energy, it's an archon, it's an energy field, it's a waveform that's part of the ether, and it is essentially one of the aspects, one of the waveforms that I hate to say, gives us this experience of life, right? And it happens when we're children, when we know nothing. Our memory's been wiped, except for those that have the leak throughs, obviously. But essentially, that's when we're indoctrinated, in dock, as in the dock, because we are a baby coming into the dock, right? The dock door. And Saturn is Satan. Satan is actually, I figured out that, and I may have read this somewhere before also, but these sentient beings swirling above us, these waveforms that are nothing like NASA with the T, that is also Satan derived, nothing like that, right? But they're waveforms. It's electromagnetism, which brings us into here, and they are actually quite local. And I don't mean to get too much into astrology, but it's a different way of thinking about astrology, though. These are things that I like to talk about that aren't as prevalent as when you pull up like on Google or YouTube. There's so much nonsense and ridiculousness of just people. I don't know. I don't trust half of. I don't even trust more than half of what's going on with the zodiac online. But so anyway, but ancient texts I have found are a lot more accurate, and that's what I invest my time and finances in reading. So that I can deliver that to you. But anyway, so Satan and the sun are connected. They are a type of split consciousness from what I've found. You can see the word sun in Saturn. Saturn has the word sun, S-U-N. Actually, Saturn's father in Roman and Greek mythology, Uranus, we won't say it the funny way, which I like to be funny and I like to say it the funny way. We all did, right? Right? When we were kids, it's still funny. But Uranus was the father of Saturn, which we know, and Saturn then ate his children, and Jupiter turns out to be the most benefic guy up there in the zodiac. He does. He is. And I think right now he's in Cancer. So, anyway, Saturn, Sun, okay, these are connected. The Saturn, satanic, Satan, Santa energy comes down the chimney, which is associated with fire. Chi is energy. I in the word chimney for I, EY, which comes out of Egypt. EY, the big I. The I doesn't need the silent E to be I, I've learned. I've learned that through just so many words that I is derived from I. You can even research that yourself. And keep in mind, there's so much false information, even on etymology, now that we've got everything digital. I mean, even I was just reading this fascinating book about the Freemasons and how the Britannica is all, the publishing houses are all Freemasons. So, then you can point back to BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard. I mean, all the guys that I've flown before. And yeah, these are the ones that run the world. There's not that many. So, but they know the energy forces and they know the true nature of reality. And here's what I'm saying is that Satan and the sun, and or Saturn and the sun, I'm not going to say is one and the same, I don't think, but they're split off consciousness. And I still feel like a more, you feel a goodness with the sun, don't you? Because he's warm, it feels good. gives us light. So I don't think they're all good or bad in general. It's a polarized world, isn't it? Right? And that's another aspect of Saturn and Satan and the satanic contract, which we sign as children, unbeknownst to ourselves and even our own parents. You can't really fault them for equally being brainwashed. So presents, we get presents, and really you do from Saturn, from Satan. You get this is part of the existence, and it's odd also that children sit on the laps of Santa, excuse me. And so, and Hollywood, being the wonderful souls that they are, put out a movie where a little boy wrote a letter to Santa, and he meant it for Santa, and it went to Satan. Satan turns out to be not such a bad guy. Isn't that interesting? So, we signed this contract with presents. He comes down the chimney, related to chi, energy, and fire. Sun is related to fire. And on the 24th, actually tonight and tomorrow, the sun, he stands still, and he is a masculine energy, so that's why I say he stands still for several days. There's a stillness. That's why the original word of solstice is solstare. It's a Latin word, and so, which I think is interesting, solstice, ice. Everything in this computerized holographic system has been changed, used as a tool, like Brainchild reinforced in one of her very interesting comments. It's a tool, right? Hollywood and the elite. I'm sorry, that could have been Miriam. I'm trying to remember everyone, like we've got our own little village here. But such interesting comments, and I really appreciate that. We're all here together. And so many women, and I love that. I feel like there's not a lot of us girls doing this stuff. So not enough powerful voices for sure. So Saturn, Satan, the contract, right, is the acceptance of the gifts, of the presence as children, of the material, of the matter, of the matter, water, which really materialism is liquid based, in my opinion, as it's related to plasma and the ether, but it appears to be material. That's what's so fascinating about this place, is it appears material. I mean, we're on a material plane of existence. There's no denying that. So we engage in this contract, this clause, if you will. Because why is he named Claus? And whatever reason they give you is false, is a fallacy. So it's the Santa Claus, the satanic contract that we entered, which gives us presents, and we get presents, we get material items, and it gets our loyalty. It gets kind of like when your kids, and I want to do a video on that, on how we lay ourselves down to sleep and we pray the Lord our soul to keep, right? We're giving our soul in a way. I don't think contracts are illegitimate when it comes to the soul and Santa and Satan, Saturnian energy. It's not. It's very deceptive. The whole place is deceptive. I believe even when we're online doing our digital things, and we accept cookies, you got to be careful with that. What are you giving away in the fine print? Which, that's why they love digital. It's even more. It gives them more room for deception. And digital has taken over the Santa Claus, the material world, as you can see. Satan's contract. It's digital. It's synthetic. It's all getting uploaded to that level, if you will. It's all even more so than when we were kids. So, I mean, people can give their children an Amazon gift card, or something online, as opposed to gifts, which it's all one and the same, but digital is the way they want everything to go. So this is part of the Satan contract, Santa's clause. And let's not give into it. And that's the whole situation. That's the whole moral of this story is we don't have to buy in. You buy into all that, and you do. You have to be around family and friends who are real downloaded. They're heavily downloaded. Maybe some NPCs. Mm, it's not easy. So we need to stick to what we know and love. The more you shed, I believe, the more you shed, um, the closer we are to connection with the outer source, which is, I believe, ourselves. And look, I'm just going to say, I'm not going to deny that. I mean, I've been fortunate. We have more than one home, and I've flown on private fancy jets for for 2 decades now in my job, but also we've traveled quite extensively in a champagne leisurely situation. Not you know what I'm saying, what I'm getting at. It, it's uh it it it's hard to unclench ourselves from the material plane, isn't it? We love beauty and art and material things because also we're looking for something, aren't we? Right? At the end of the day, we like to feel good. We like to see a beautiful piece of art or hear beautiful music, and even to receive a gift. Like, but I think the point is to keep the concept in mind that it is the Saturn's contract, and it's not worthy of us. So we were tricked as kids. We don't have to be tricked now. And just I think it's interesting that the verbiage, the terminology is right there in our face. It always is. It's just reassembled letters, the symbolic nature of the alphabet, words, the inversion, upside down even often. You can see numbers and letters. But the Santa Claus is what we're taking a closer look at. And I want to say, wish everyone a well, it's Saturnalia. It's a Roman pagan holiday that's been heavily inverted, and that's just the way that it is. And even the Bible gives all the symbology away if you read it close enough. And so, but I wish everyone a happy evening because it is the evening. It is the evening of the day. When the sun rules, is the day. The evening is the underworld. It's Saturn's. It's the evening. Think of Venus, even Venus, right? As well, also another malefic energy. And it's the evening from the day. And I still wish you, even though the days are short, and December didn't even seem to happen for me. And I'm wondering if you guys feel that way too. Okay, I'll wrap this up and love to see your comments. And I hope you're managing okay on this. Well, it's hot as hell down here in New Orleans in the South. I will say that. There's no freezes and no snow going on over here. So thanks for listening, guys. I'll look to your comments.